All right, we're good. I did the SBC just so we could see what the upgrade is. I wanted to see if you could use it with Zidane, but apparently you can't. But it's not a bad upgrade, Evo. I mean, it took Nedved from 84 pace to 86, 84 shooting to 90 shooting, 86 passing stayed the same. Dribbling went from 87 to 89. Defending got +2 and physical got +2. So it's appears to be a big buff to shooting and a +2 across the board except for dribbling.
And you get, is that a +1 weak foot and skill move, max 4-star, is that?
It's capped at 4, yeah.
Do we get any playstyle pluses?
Let's see.
Where is this?
You have to complete the SBC.
Oh.
And then redeem it, then go to Evo Cosmetics. No playstyle pluses, though.
So it's just basically a stat boost for base icons.
You get +1 weak foot, +1 skill moves, capped at 4 stars. Overall ratings +4, capped at 90. I don't know why you would cap the overall rating. That doesn't make sense, but either way. Pace is +10, capped at 86. Shooting is +6, capped at 90. Passing +8, capped at 86. Dribbling +5, capped at 89. Defending +2, capped at 89. And physicality +2, capped at 85.
Because it's not a normal Evo, it's not on FUT or FUTBIN yet. But it'd be interesting to see what cards fit. I don't know if I have any.
Is it, let's be honest.
The only base icon I've got that I use is Van der Sar. I think.
Sure if I've got any base icons.
Let's have a look. Icons. I think I've not got any decent ones from icon SBCs that I've done. I've got like Veron and those type of icons. But
Well,
I can't really complain about pack look right now.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I can, yeah, I probably will. I got Gerrard. Oh, what am I talking about? I am an absolute fucking melon. I've got Rio. He's only in my team for the last flipping 2 months. I've got like Crespo, Centurions as well, Stevie G, Scholes Winter Wildcard. But yeah, it'll be interesting when we can get it up on FUTGG. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look. It's on FUTGG now, so let's see what cards are eligible. Eligible players. Oh, Rio is eligible. That's nice. If it gives him a decent boost, it's nice.
Not really.
We had a lot to talk about, I guess, this week because a lot happened. A lot of content, a lot of Evos. Where do you want to start, Paul?
Let's talk about Team of the Year, shall we? The team itself. I don't think there's any real surprises, is there?
No.
Not all deserved, but we've not really got any surprises. I think the biggest shock has been the supply of these cards. And
Supply in a good way or a bad way?
In good way, I think. I think we've got a lot more supply than last year. I think any more supply than this, and it just becomes... It's not special. And I always think Team of the Year is... Like, those cards are special, those blue cards. I think they've just got some... Whether they have or whether they haven't, they just look a bit extra because they're Team of the Years. And... You know, there used to be cards that would see you out the rest of the game, and some of them probably still will. But, we got 3 playstyle pluses, which, is the first time we've had that this year. And yeah, everyone just goes wild for them, don't they? So much so, people have been absolutely blasting coins in the store. Not just coins, but FC points as well. And that seems to be the place where people are packing them, which makes sense, doesn't it? If there's these cards that are really rare, you're going to go to the 88 plus player picks or the 100 player packs. That's where they're going to come from. They're not going to come from premium league upgrades. And you shared something earlier, didn't you, Hunter, about the pack percentage for those premium Premier League, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it were
0.05.
0.05%.
Yeah.
And even less, I think, for La Liga.
Yeah, that was for Prem.
So, it's not surprising they're difficult to pack. But we're getting decent free packs every day, pretty much, with the 83 times 5, 85 plus player picks, 85 doubles now instead of the player picks. But there's lots there to give you a chance. And have you guys packed any?
No. I didn't even get an honorable mentions.
This time, yeah, we've got a week.
Yeah, but I'm out of packs.
Yeah, you can make some more. It's fine. Just make some more.
I don't think I will. It doesn't really matter to me, though, because I'm doing MLS anyway, so this year I don't really care. I mean, I've said it previous years, but Team of the Year is the biggest head fake in the game. It's always about the content that is derived from the promo. What kind of SBCs are we going to get? What kind of flashback SBCs are we going to get? That's what people should be excited about. But instead, they go to the store, blow all their money on packs, get disappointed, bitch about the pack weight, and it all repeats itself. So if that's you, and I know somebody out there listening is feeling this way, you don't have to admit it. We all know you did it, but don't do that. It's bad.
Or
spend a fuckload of money.
No.
And maybe, sorry.
Just go spunk all your coins. You'll get some more. I imagine everybody has got a decent untradeable team right now. So if you want to open a pack of 2 with coins, I'm not gonna.
Hey, you talk about a decent untradeable team. With my MLS Evo team, I decided, because I was bored the other day, I'm going to play some champs. First time in like 2 years. Went 5-0 in qualifiers. Guess what happened my first game in champs? I lost 8-7.
Wow.
That's
pretty cool.
Is that NBA 2K?
That's what it feels like I'm playing. It feels like I'm playing NFL Blitz with this new gameplay. I'm not mad about it. It's just different. It's just different. Lots of goals being scored. If you can't score a goal against somebody in this game, you're either vastly outmatched or maybe you should just think about playing another game. Yeah. The way the center backs track or don't track, it's very difficult to defend versus where it used to be. But I do think some people are starting to play lower depth because it's harder and harder to get in behind like it was before. Don't know if that's a thing, but
I don't know.
It's never been my style. I like playing 95 depth.
I think people are definitely finding the feet with it a little bit more now.
I'm seeing a lot of 4-4-1-1s out there.
Yeah, well, that's been my go-to formation for the last few weeks, like maybe 3-4 weeks. And I loved it post-patch. Really enjoyed it until this weekend. And my gameplay, when I played the majority of my champs games on Saturday, was like just shit. Slow, sluggish, really difficult to move anybody about, and the way you have to defend in that, the way that's set up,
passive,
is like by the seat of your pants. So if you make a mistake, you're done. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I made lots of mistakes. So I went back to the 4-2-1-3 and just sort of held it down a little bit better. But Played the 4-4-1-1 again in Rivals today, and absolutely fine. So, it's gameplay dependent, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. Mets, how have you been finding, I guess, everything? Your pack luck, gameplay?
Gameplay fine. Pack luck non-existent.
Yeah.
I saved up a few packs from just what you're getting for objectives and doing anything that was remotely related to Rush, just because of some Evos that wanted to do as well, and seeing the timing with getting decent potential packs for Team of the Year, decided to invest my time there. And lots of good fodder, but no good cards, no good pulls. So in that respect, when you come out of Team of the Year and you don't have anything, it does feel pretty bad, which is something I'm sure EA are trying to rectify as much as possible, given that they've given people a free Zidane. There's all sorts of SBCs you can do. So if you have been in packs and not hitting the big blues, you've probably got fodder to go and make something for yourself. So you tend to come out of it with something. But I agree with what Paul's saying. As much as I feel bad for not having Pact 1, I'm glad they're not easily attainable. They absolutely should not be, particularly in a framework where they've already given out a free Zidane. If everyone started packing blues on top of that, this game would be over. It would be such tedium to play. It would be super frustrating. Having that Zidane in just about every team you play against in a competitive game mode is super annoying. Like, obviously a very good attacking card if you can use it. He's big enough with high enough defensive stats to be a pain in the arse at winning the ball back in your half, which creates frustrating gameplay. So I said last week when it was just me and Paul having a chat that I wasn't over the moon about it, but if you enjoy getting that stuff for free, then more power to you. But I don't personally think it's great for the game, or the long-term health of the game at least anyway. But we are where we are. As much as I'd like to have a Team of the Year, glad that they're hard to pull. You know, this is the one promotion per year which is targeted exclusively at the elites. You know, the people who are prepared to spend the big money can come in and probably pack, a few of these, and the rest of us are scrambling around to try and mimic that as cheaply as we can with freebies or coins that we've earned through legit gameplay or bought through nefarious means, however you do it. But it's very difficult, but it should be. If everyone has these cards, they cease to be special. I've said it a million times on the podcast at various points during our time doing this show. And you just have to accept that you can't not everyone can have all the cool shit, otherwise it's not cool. It's the exclusivity that makes them cool, that makes them desirable, that makes us want to open packs and spend money. And EA's ploy is, look, if we want you to spend money, obviously, as much as possible, almost none of you are getting any, but we'll make sure you get something else instead. And that's kind of where they're at with this. I think the one thing that's worth discussing, though, that I see quite a lot on Twitter is the whole theory about account dormancy and how they seem to get a higher rate of Team of the Years if you haven't logged into the game for a long time. We've got no proof that exists, but it does seem to be a recurring theme on social media, and it's something I experienced a couple of years ago, if you guys remember, where I kind of checked out of the game by about February, and then I logged in towards the end of the game, and there was like a 99 CR7 that I just got instantly when I logged in after 3 months, which doesn't seem quite right. But it would make sense if they failed to reactivate your account with a free Zidane or just Team of the Year in general, and you just happen to open a pack that you got lying around your club, and they can deliver you a Team of the Year into the hands of a player who can't really do any damage with it.
Yeah.
What's the harm in potentially reactivating that lapsed user of the game? That, to me, from a business point of view, makes perfect sense why they would do it. It's obviously a shitty deal if that is actually happening, and we've got no proof that it does. It's just a theory, but it would make sense business-wise that is exactly what happens. Anecdotally speaking, having played a lot of Rush in the last week, the amount of people I played against who did have Team of the Years and were very poor with them kind of backs up a little bit of that again. No proof. It's just a theory backed up with a little bit of anecdotal evidence, not a massive sample size, but there was lots of team of the years knocking around in Rush, and the players were abysmal. They couldn't do anything with them. You get in a Mo Salah team of the year, and they're just basically running them into the corner and have no idea how to get out of that corner. Typical Rush Tard stuff. It doesn't matter what card it was, they were going to fail. So how these cards have managed to find their ways into the hands of such shitty players, we'll leave that up to you. But the fact remains that there's some interesting theories out there that have gone unproven at this point, but people continue to talk about them.
Yeah. I'll just say I've checked out it quite a few times over the last 4 or 5 years, but the one game that I was actually plugged into, I'll say the one game, the games that I was actually plugged into and played the most of is when I had the best pack luck. So I've never had where it goes dormant, you come back and get the big pack. Like, it just doesn't happen for me. Yeah. The one year I played the most, I packed 99 footies Mbappe. Didn't even use him because one, I don't like Mbappe, but two, it's boring. And the other year I packed Mbappe and Ronaldinho in back-to-back packs. So I don't know.
And I've got accounts that I play on sometimes, then don't play with them months on end and go back and, their looks no better than on my main. Probably, worse probably. But, I'm seeing a lot of Team of the Years out there. And I shared one in our chat earlier.
Oh,
God. Nearly all of them, somebody had. And I were like, that's just wild that somebody's managing to pack 5 or 6 or 7 different Team of the Years and some icons. It's, it's
a lot of money spent.
Yeah. And I'd rather it this way than it was last year, where they were like rocking horse shit. Like, they just want their very rare you saw them. But I'm even seeing the big ones, like I'm seeing VVD packed a lot, seeing Vinny's. Not seeing many Mbappes, but quite a few Vinny's. Everyone seems to be getting a Cole Palmer or a Salah.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, I would prefer it this way than it was last year.
One that I've been watching is Messi, because he's the only one of these cards that would fit my Evo team. His price has come down quite a lot, considering he started at around 6 and he went down to 3. And now on PC, he's down to 1.6, and the console is even cheaper than that. Why do you think so many cards are being driven down so quickly if we're saying that the pack luck is still relatively low, I guess?
It's low.
It's better for the honorable mentions than the Team of the Years?
Well, I think people are just opening packs. People are going to the store and opening packs. Weight on the honourable mentions is much higher than the normal Team of the Year. So
there's
people
also
just
packs where you get guaranteed honourable mentions, guaranteed Team of the Year icons. So anything that's outside of the main Team of the Year is far more accessible for someone who's even got a small amount of money this year. So you start accumulating 1 or 2 of those in your club, and you're going to want to move on some of your old stuff, right? So I can only imagine that's having a detrimental effect to the market, as there's a lot more high-quality cards that are becoming untradeable in people's clubs, and they're just moving their old shit on, basically, or it just eliminates some of the star value at the higher end of the game that's outside Team of the Year main squads.
And the thing is as well, everybody who's played this game over the last 2 months has got a base team now that they can use with some almost Team of the Year level cards in it. So they've got Zidane, we've got the right wing Evo from last week, the left wing Evo from the weeks before, we've got these new Team of the Year centre back Evos. So people's teams are crammed with players. Now we've just got this new icon Evo tonight, which, you know, if you had a decent icon in your team that was probably just getting a little bit sort of behind the power curve, EA have just given us an Evo tonight that brings them probably back up to a level where they're keeping with the power curve. So I think, and I'm seeing this a lot, people are going selling tradable stuff from their clubs to go open packs from the store to try and get these cards. So I think that's dropping. People might pack something tradable and think, do I keep this card, this honourable mention, or whatever it might be, and then just go try and pack one of the big boys, team of the year. So yeah, I bought Rodri on Friday for my team, just over 6 mil. I think he's under 5 mil now. I sort of didn't want to get caught out like last year. You had to buy early because they just went to the moon. But I think I were a little bit too early. And I don't know how much more he's going to drop, but I'm not that fussed. Like, he'll stay in my team. I've got a solid team. We'll go from there. I also bought Cafu, who, by the way, man, that guy,
Looks
he
really
is
good.
unbelievable. Best right back in the game, I think. He's expensive for a right back.
How much you pay for him?
I got him for 1.7. He went up to 2.2, and I think he's back in packs today. So it might drop a little bit more, but I don't know if he gets much below 1.7.
Yeah, you wouldn't think there'd be a ton of his cards packed.
No.
I bloody hope not. There's nothing worse than when someone gets like Roberto Carlos at left back and a Cafu or Carlos Alberto at right back, and it's just like clogs the game up somewhat chronic.
Oh,
Yeah, see? Yeah, good.
that is the worst nightmare. Theo at left back, Cafu at right back. You're like, what now? I can't score finesses from 30 yards anymore.
If they update transfers, we're going to have Kyle Walker and Teo Hernandez at AC Milan, and can you imagine the pain? The linkability is going to be horrible.
Yeah. Good luck getting around those two. You know, and I said that maybe the whole lot of people shouldn't be packing the Cafu, but I shared it with you guys in our private DMs, but I was playing with a friend of mine from the Discord, Ibuprofen, and we played 8 co-op games, 6 of which those 8 had either R9 or Mbappe, Team of the Year, and or a combination of the two. 6 out of 8. And that was in the Team of the Year Cup games. These weren't loan cards either. How is it that so many people have those teams? And we were beating them, but like, I think that's part of the reason why people get so frustrated with this game.
The theory I just mentioned.
Yeah,
like
they grind and they grind and they
are getting good cards to try and get them back into the game, but they can't use them.
Yeah.
And I also think now, with a lot of these winter wildcards and stuff, you can pack them from objectives. We had that 89 times 5 winter wildcard, numero foot and all that. You had 3 opportunities, I think, in that objective to pack one of these previous promo cards. You're also getting them from Champs Rewards. So people are getting so many opportunities, which I absolutely love for the game now. But my concern is, where do we go post Team of the Year? Like,
Oh, they need to keep the momentum up, that's for sure. They can't go quiet all of a sudden. If they've achieved their goals, especially after that crappy third quarter earnings call, whatever it was, last week, they were banking on having a massive Team of the Year to turn that around, and you can't just stop dead. Once that over, you've got to keep the momentum going. So there's got to be some cool promos coming up that maybe not quite Team of the Year level, but stuff that will create enough hype and deliver in terms of packability. They need to give something to people that they can actually obtain this time without breaking the game, of course. So whether that's like a Future Stars type thing or whatever normally comes this time of year, but it won't be like a numero foot, which for most people was rubbish, but I really liked it. kind of sleeper in betweeny promo. It's going to be something big, I think, coming next.
It's got to be something big. And what better promo to come next than the footballers promo?
I agree.
I think next we probably get Road to the Final, Road to the Knockout, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That
Which
would make sense.
I don't
Which is
really
not-
like. It's
Yeah,
always
I
a
mean,
bit
it's-
like those promos are like, here's these cards. They're not for now.
Yeah.
They're for the future. But
It's hype building for sure.
it is for sure. And we probably do need a bit of a recovery period after Team of the Year. Let things just settle a bit. Let people use these cards. But we then get into Future Stars season and all that, which everybody loves a bit of Future Stars. We've just got so much to do in this game at the moment.
Can't keep track. Really
it's-
can't.
We were saying this earlier, like, for us guys who are keeping track of what's going on, it's a lot. Like, if you're not like keeping an eye on what's going on in game and consuming FC content and checking your Twitter every 45 seconds, you're gonna miss something.
Well, that's the worst thing. Is like we were talking off air about me missing a couple of these Team of the Year Evos.
Yeah.
For the centre back, he's supposed to be able to make, and it's like, how do they think it's acceptable that I have to go to Twitter to find out information about this sort of thing? Like, why is it not just served up to me on a plate in the game?
Like
And
part
God
6 was.
forbid, I put a shitload of time into the game in the last week and a half, and I still haven't come close to doing it because I've been doing all the other stuff that they've been throwing at us. It's like, okay, maybe it's a new thing whereby there's going to throw so much stuff for you to do out there that it's extremely difficult for everyone to do everything, which is okay. If that's the way they're going to go, that's absolutely fine, but that's certainly not what we tend to be used to, and it, at least initially, isn't going to cause great sentiment because people hate FOMO in this game, especially as something as powerful as what that card can ultimately become. Missing out on that's pretty bad for your personal power curve, for lack of a better term. So it's like, okay, subscribe to a podcast like ours and we tell you stuff that's going on, but even for us it's hard to keep track because it's not always in the game, it's not always in a tweet from EA directly. It's like, why do we have to go digging so hard for stuff? It's so weird.
Yeah,
It is
it would
really
have even
difficult.
been hard for us to push this info out too, because it was happening kind of by the day. You know what I mean? So like part, I think 3 and 4 was part of the daily play and the SBC, daily upgrade SBC, and then part 5 was in the Team of the Year Cup, which wasn't out very long in my opinion. I feel
No.
like everything was
It's
very
weird.
rushed.
Did they have
no
it
pun
for
intended.
like at least a week? Because it seemed to have gone by very quickly if I didn't manage to catch it.
Sunday to Friday, which is not a lot of time at all, especially when there's all this other stuff going on. You've got to flipping play your rivals, you've got to do this, you've got to do the other stuff. Lots of other Evos as well going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Like one of the best ways of keeping an eye on what's going on is in our Discord. Lots of different channels in there. You can just go have a look in channel, ask a question. But I find that I have to have different places I go for information for different parts of the game. Pajama Rahman, he's my Evo consultant, and if it wouldn't have been for him yesterday pointing me in the right direction, I'd have missed out on an absolutely insane card that I'm going to be able to Evo. But even then, that's not going through the Team of the Year 1 to 6. It's using number 1, number 6, a couple of the other Evos. So that's something to keep an eye on. But I like to just jump on the game, play a few games, and not go really deep into content and spend hours on FootGG or FootBin trying to find the best Evos. So if you haven't got people who'll help you out and let you know, you could be missing out on some of the best content of the year, and just not not knowing. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting a Bradford City centre back who's going to be team of the year level, can play a CDM as well, probably, like nearly 90 rated across a lot of his stats, and it's like they should be singing and shouting about that.
Yep.
But you have to find it yourself. And I get, like, we're all grown ups. We should be able to go on there, read their shit, figure it out. But it's a lot of content at the moment, and I love it. Do you know what I mean? I love the fact that we're getting loads of content. But if it's overwhelming for us, it's a lot for your average player.
Also, too, want to mention part 6 of this Team of the Year Evo chain for center backs. If you want to get it done quickly, if you don't know, to get part 6, you have to do it in draft. You don't have to do it in online draft. You can do it in offline draft. But go into your settings, set your half length to 3 minutes, play it on beginner, score a goal, and just hold the ball. They won't rush you. They won't press you. It goes much quicker that way. And you get a pretty good couple of cards toward the end. That the Georgis card that you get toward the end, he looks really good. I haven't tried him yet, but as good as he was early on, this one's got to be usable.
I think he's going to be a really, really nice card. For a free card...
Looks like a Matt Mata card.
I think his... Was it Thunderstruck? What... I'm pretty sure he was like 600 or 700k for a while. And this one probably keeps up with the power curve. So that's... talking again about people's teams being full of cards that they're not needing to go to the transfer market. We've just got so many. And it's great. We can't complain about all this, but I just feel some of this content needs hand feeding to us. Well, not even necessarily hand feeding, just we've got so many content creators out there. EA could be using these guys to say, you've got a content creator who's brilliant with Evos. I'll tell you what, do us a favour. For each one of these Evos that comes out, will you just make us a 5-minute video to put in game? To explain the best way to go about this, or just explain it in layman's terms. And I know that's a bit lazy, but I don't come and play video games to have to go study on an external website for half an hour a day to be able to play it to the best of my ability.
It's not lazy. That would be smart business. And they did approach me. We just couldn't come to terms on a deal.
Yeah.
So, I turned them down ultimately. But yeah, no, all seriousness, that if you are struggling with information, you're missing out. If you are in the boat where you missed out, join the Discord. It's free. I'm not going to tell you we're going to get everything, but if you have a question, it'll definitely get answered by somebody in there.
Yeah.
There's tons of really smart guys who are really tuned into the game, probably much more than we are. And
yeah.
If you don't like it, you can leave. It's free.
Oh, for sure. We've got guys in our Discord who know more about evolutions and stuff that I do, who know more about gameplay stuff than I do. Do you know what I mean? We've got a great trading. There's all sorts in there, so it's a decent place just to come and chill, even if you don't want any information, to be honest.
Sidetrack Matt. This Georgis card. 99 jumping, 95 strength, 96 heading accuracy. It's got aerial, it's got power header, press proven, quick step, power shot plus, rapid.
Sounds very handy.
6'2". He's a big boy.
He's going to be annoying.
Seems like he will be.
I'll tell you what he will be definitely good for is Rush, where you can just take one card and just like batter through a whole team if you're a good dribbler and whatever. That's a card that, because he's big and strong enough, you can use him reasonably well defensively, but he'll get on the end of everything, be good off set pieces, which very few people are good at in Rush. Yeah, I could definitely see that one being useful.
While we're on Rush, I'm still seeing a whole lot of people doing this in game, and it's so annoying, but a lot of people are still trying to cross like you would in a normal game.
Yeah,
that obviously doesn't work. It just lobs it up.
Rush, it's just a waste. You got to keep the ball on the ground for the most part. Like people who try and cross or do wafted through balls, very rarely is it the right play. And certainly, most people tend to like hang on the defensive line, like try and beat the offside trap all the time. But it's so much more effective to come back into your own half and build up in your own half rather than just like one person on the ball in your half and the other three are trying to break the offside trap. It's so easy to defend, but that's what everybody does because they're fucking stupid. And again, talking about problems with rush, it's just like people don't know the offside trap. They don't know how to build up. They can't anticipate anything. They just try and lob balls in from corners without any thought for who's on the end of it. They can have Frimpong in the box as the only person who's going to try and head the ball, and they'll still try and put in a big lofted crosses.
So what I was going to say, though, about the crosses, there is a way to cross and rush, and nobody really does it. Some people who know about it do it, but if you hold L1, R1 when you cross...
Yeah, I do that, and it's still not super effective.
I think it's very effective. I've been using it too.
Well, because you're playing co-op, I imagine you're someone who can actually time a run and get on the end of something. But
yeah, you can't play with
rush.
rush.
Do it with randoms. It's not happening.
Yeah, playing rush with 3 randoms is the ultimate test of a man's patience. If you can do that, you've mastered the art of patience. I can't do it for more than 1, maybe 2 games.
I always have to be the defensive player because no one else will defend.
No one else will. Yeah, the slowest center back in the team will bomb forward.
I'm quite good at being like the quarterback. I'll just sit back and ping balls around and make myself available to recycle possession, although they'll usually just ignore you and just run into a defender instead of trying to play it back and build up again.
Yes, they will.
But yeah, we can talk about rush every week until my face goes blue. It's not going to get better if I keep playing on my own. I do realise that. But I'm just a spontaneous player. I'm not setting up like a big schedule to play sessions of rush with people just to make it slightly more bearable. It's a pain in the arse. I play when I feel like it. I'm not making arrangements for people to fucking play rush. I value my time more than that. Matt, join the Discord. We can carry you, motherfucker. I would carry you. What are you talking about?
Oh,
the best rush player in the world.
Who?
Me, because I'm constantly winning practically on my own.
We don't believe it, Matt, so you come in the Discord and prove it. You've got to get in there, Matt.
But the problem is, if I come in and I join, I will bollock the fuck out of all of you when you make a mistake.
Just be prepared to be bollocked back.
Don't make a pass when you should do. Shit's going down.
I wish we could do like a 4v4 rush.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be fun?
It would, yeah.
Who wants to have fun?
Maybe we should have a Discord rush tournament or something.
I don't think it's possible, though.
No, not at the moment. It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be fun. Well, we touched on Zidane. Did we talk about Zidane last week? No, because he wasn't out there, right?
Me and Matt did. We spoke about how stupid I was. I thought Zidane was shit, so I did KDB, and then realised Zidane's all right.
He's more than all right. I'm tired of seeing that bald fucking head and rush, though.
Yeah. But KDB is also
very good.
Amazing. If you're thinking about it, just do it. He's phenomenal. Yeah. And he's not Zidane, most importantly.
Oh, Imposter makes a good point. We could do it in clubs.
Oh, we could do it in clubs.
Sure could. Maybe we should challenge another podcast.
Podcaster clubs.
Podcast tournament.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That would be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
We'd probably lose, but it'd be fun.
Oh, we'll definitely lose. It'd be fun. Well, it depends on the podcast.
Yeah, it depends, yeah. What about Harry Kane, by the way?
Well, it is nice to see something different.
Wasn't it, that?
It was very smooth. Love
Segway.
That. Master of segues. It's nice to see something different up top than Mbappe and R9 and the occasional Pele. Is now we get to see Harry Kane, and he's fucking good. That game that I lost 8-7, he ravaged my back line, and it was brutal. Couldn't stop him. I mean, I might just be shit. Probably am, but the card was really good.
I need a striker as well, and Harry Kane's is my man.
4-star.
Finesse plus.
As if he's not got 5-star weak foot.
I know.
That's a bit cheap.
That's a bit of a scam, really, because don't some of his other cards have 5-star weak? Oh no, they don't.
You'd expect at this stage of the game, he would have 5-star weak foot, considering he's only got 2 play star pluses.
Yeah, but I think he'll be a beast. I'm going to do him. Is he a little bit expensive at 500k? But you've got to put your fodder somewhere, haven't you? I suppose.
And I know everybody's got loads of fodder with all these packs.
Well, I did have until I did KDB. That probably wiped me out. But we're getting back there now, and I'm going to do a load of upgrades this week for my 0.13% chance of a team of the year. I'm going to get another one. I'm definitely going to get another one.
I've given up because I don't actually want any of these team of the years. It would just be nice to have one, but
yeah,
don't like any of them. Quite frankly, none of them get me excited.
Grimaldo's a good card. I've used Grimaldo earlier on in game, and it like as a attacking sort of fullback, he'll be good, and he's not that expensive now, is he? But Rodri's phenomenal. Palmer. He really needs
tried
that
in the Classic 10 yet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, and he's been decent there. I've been using him. Now let me think. This is where I've been messing about a lot today with Palmer, and I've been putting him in build-up, playmaker build-up. I think it is. Let me just double check. Yeah, playmaker build-up. And he's been coming fairly deep, which has been really nice. He's been carrying ball with his technical plus and just sort of pulling the strings a little bit, and I've really enjoyed using him there. I've used him at Shadow Striker. He's good there, but I do like him coming a bit deeper and carrying ball on edge at box. How many times can I say coming a bit deeper before Hunter explodes?
Well, the first time I kind of let it go, and the second time I starting to raise an eyebrow because I'm wondering if that's what you're really getting at here.
Yeah,
is it something you want to tell the people?
No, not at all, not at all. But yeah, my formation got messed up this weekend, so I've been just having a play about today, trying to find something that works, but is also fun. Not that anything's pretty much fun at the moment, isn't it? Like, when the gameplay is good.
I was going to say, having a bit of a moan about certain aspects of Team of the Year and everything, but I think the game is playing just fine. There does seem to be a lot more goals scored generally. My opinion on that, I think I said to Paul last week, was in my system, there's a noticeable difference in terms of like CDM, AI. Like, it's not helping you out nearly as much as it used to. You've got to take manual control of those CDMs, and your centre backs still do an okay job. Not perhaps as bad as we've seen before with defensive AI, but you've really got to get hands on with a CDM and move them around to get any joy out of like a midfield pivot, I think, in the current build of the game. But yeah, as long as you're aware of that, I think that's fine. It's just it caught everyone by surprise after the launch of the patch, and goals were flying in all over the place. But people will start adapting. They'll build their teams to compensate for that, and it helps if you've got like a Vieira type who just clogs up passing lanes without really doing anything. That kind of thing.
Have you had any issues with passing since the patch? Like
what kind
passing
of issues?
Just being extra wayward?
No.
Because Pompel had been talking to me about it, saying that his passing were everywhere, like just not accurate at all. And I thought, no, like mine had been fine until this weekend when I had bad gameplay, and it was just horrendous sometimes. Like, just, instead of going to my centre mid, going back to my centre back, and I don't know if that was just a delay in the direction or what it was, but it were rough and really frustrated me. And I can imagine if that's been your experience for the last 2 weeks, week and a half, like it has Pompel's, that must suck real bad.
I know sometimes when stuff like that happens, I'm not saying this is the case, but there was one instance years ago where I had stick drift so bad to where when I would move it, it would jitter and try to go in all type of directions. And if you fix that, that would go away. I'm not saying that's what's happening there, but I haven't noticed that issue specifically. But then again, I'm on PC. I don't know if that's different. The only issue I've noticed that I can't contribute to something I'm doing is if I'm trying to send a pass, let's say from my center back to my left wing, and I'm doing a long through pass, it'll go 5 yards in front of me to the CDM, and I put like 3.5 bars of power on this thing, but it'll go 2 yards and just dink it to him. The auto correction factor on distance is what I'm having a problem with, not so much direction.
Right.
But I don't know if that's just an issue I'm having. I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm putting too much power on.
That happens to me occasionally, but I don't know if that's just me or if it is a difference in the game. If you're running a system whereby your commands are making players enter into similar areas of the pitch, it's hard to necessarily pinpoint the pass to the right one. I don't know if that's what's happening in your case, Hunter, but if you have a look at your tactics screen and look at what your team's doing with and without the ball and see if players are occupying the same spaces, I think that might cause some confusion in terms of the logic of who your pass is automatically targeted to with your intended direction. But no, that's just the nature of the beast. Glad you at your tactics, maybe.
One beef I have got is that they have improved and assisted shooting, and now it's closer to precision shooting, and I feel like there should be a gap there still. There is a gap there still, but I feel like you should be rewarded more for the precision than you should with the assisted, and that's just annoyed me a little bit that I'm not getting the boost that I did before from precision. And I'm still using it.
You are getting this, but you're getting the same boost while everybody else isn't risking it and getting a better boost.
Yeah, and I think
it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Life's not fair, Paul.
Life's not fair. But I'm not going back to assisted. They can fuck off. I'm not doing it.
I never left.
If I want to shoot at the corner flag every now and again, I will do that.
You can definitely tell who's using it and who's not when you get that wayward shot or wayward pass.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It always makes me chuckle when somebody has a shot and it just goes like, oh,
yeah,
he's got precision shooting on.
Yep, I know the feeling. That's why I gave it up this year. Just didn't see the risk to reward factor. What else? What else we got going on this week?
SBCs.
You mentioned trading and making a bunch of coins.
Oh no, I haven't got any coins. I've got 127 coins, 127,000 coins left.
You put printing coins team of the week in our notes.
Wasn't that last week?
Yeah, that was last week.
Never mind. There we go.
Yeah,
So-
he did, and now he spent them.
Yeah, now I've got no. I can probably buy 5 team of the week, so that's probably about my lot. But it's a bit. It's almost. I felt a bit naked at first when all my coins went. I was like, shit, I've got 27k. What am I going to do now? But yeah, it's going to be fun to build them back up.
Yeah,
I'll keep
Can't
Rodri.
spend
I'll
them on
keep
something.
Cafu, I think, and just build my coins back up as we go, because it is pretty easy to make coins right now with team of the weeks and stuff. But I'm just going to be grinding some upgrades, playing lots of games to play. I've got 5 evolutions to do to get
you better get
my
busy.
Bradford City centre back Evo, so I've got that to be doing. Yeah, so that's me.
One thing before we end the show, I wanted to ask you, like Mets, you two probably have a better insight than I do. When should people be buying these honorable mentions cards that are still currently in packs? Because you want to own them before they go out of packs, I would assume, right?
It's a good question. I don't have a definitive advice on that. I would just say don't procrastinate too much. If you see a card at a price you like, at some point you just got to pull the trigger. Just as easily as a price going down, it can rise up. If something comes out that links to one of those honorable mentions cards, it's gonna fly to the moon. So monitor it for a short period of time, see what the average price is over the course of a day, because it will fluctuate between daytime, nighttime, with the EU logging off, US logging on, that kind of thing. And if you like the price, just pull the trigger. You can get overly obsessive in like saving a minute amount of coins on these cards. It's not like most of them are super expensive anyway. We're not talking multi-million-pound cards here, like Team of the Year proper. I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it personally, to be honest. Especially if it's one that you want to put into your team. If you're doing it purely for trading, then you probably have a better answer than I can give you right now anyway. But if it's one that you want to play with, certainly don't wait until like a Thursday, Friday when people start building teams for weekend league or whatever, but monitor, decide if it's good value, pull the trigger, buy it, put it in the club, job done.
That said, I just bought honorable mentions Messi just because you talked me into it.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I think for you as well, Hunter, you've got that MLS team.
I haven't needed coins all year.
When an MLS card comes along that is like Messi, who's probably the best MLS card.
Yeah, you skipped the earlier Messi, so you kind of owe yourself this one.
Why not?
Premium, right?
This one also has Relentless. I don't know if the other one did or not. I don't think it did, which
No.
helps his low stamina.
Not a very messy trait, I would say. But
It's not,
okay, yeah,
but I'll take it.
I've got the other one, the 92, and it comes on as sub for me sometimes. And that technical dribbling, yeah, you'll love it. It'll be, if nothing else, it'll be fun. You might lose your ass on it, and it might drop to 750k, but
Definitely going to lose my ass on it.
you might not. You know what I mean? Like, it's difficult to link in it, but people have got so many icons and stuff now. It's
speaking of that
it's
technical
easier.
dribbling, maybe playing styles have changed a little bit, or I'm just late to getting into a higher division this year than I normally would be. But I'm in Div 3 now, and holding my own just fine. But I did play against a really good player today who didn't have a particularly amazing team. You know, he had the good free stuff like Zidane or whatever, but he was doing a lot of his damage with a Winter Wilds card, Bernardo Silva, who's just got that very slight depth of touch, excellent dribbler, doesn't require pace to play with effectively. And what was clearly evident about this guy and where he was giving me trouble compared to all the other players I'd played against on my way up to Div 3 was he was super composed. Once he got in and around the box or edge of the area, he could just go where he wanted with that card. He didn't require any kind of pace or power to beat my back four. He was throwing me off balance, twisting and turning all the time. Just, really composed at keeping possession of the ball and waiting for you to make a mistake before he went to make a run to create a goal-scoring opportunity. And I think that's probably one of the big differences in between the style of player, i.e. he's actually playing the game, and the certain cards that they will use. They don't need like this free Gyökeres you were talking about, Hunter. He'll do some damage in limited spots, but once you come up against good players, that card's going to be pretty much null and void. The defenders that people have now will be able to deal with Gyökeres, whereas they can't deal with a midget midfielder with close to 99 dribbling and technical dribble, and just someone who's very patient and control. That player can do way more damage than Gyökeres with always pace and power. It's just a different type of game at that point. It'll do fine for a large number of people at a very low level. It'll bash through people, but once you get to a certain rating in Rivals or your ELO and Weekend League, that card is null and void. Then it's practically useless, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. I definitely struggle against those kind of players just because they move so much quicker and they respond faster than your sluggish ass defenders. But,
well, every defender pretty much is massive. They can't turn quickly, and you can't beat them for pace, even with some of the fastest players in the game. There's very few that can just straight up burn away a centre-back who's, like 85 plus pace at the moment. But it doesn't matter how fast that 99 dribbler is with technical dribble. If he's in the hands of a good player, they can do whatever they want with you. And that's where a card like Messi comes into his own, because he's always been a top-notch finisher and whatnot, and how good technical dribbling is for those type of players now. When you come up against a really resistant defender, you can pick them apart with that kind of player if you're patient. So I don't think it's necessarily a change in the meta. It's just a sign of where you are in terms of levels of competitiveness and how people sort of change their play styles to suit those kind of interactions. It was an eye-opener compared to what I've been used to, put it that way. A card like a Bernardo Silva can do more harm to me than an Mbappe, for instance. But there you go.
Sounds good. Anything else, guys, before we finish this one?
No, I don't think so. I think when you're worrying about coins and stuff at this time of the year, just enjoy it. If, you know, the card you want, go buy it.
Fucking just buy it.
Because you could just wait, and I've done it year on year, waiting to buy a team, only holding cards for one day. You know,
That
I
feeling's
buy a
always going to
card,
be
I
there.
sell it the next day. You're not getting any enjoyment out of your coins. You're just stacking your coins up, which is nice to do. So then you can afford these cards, but also there has to come a time where you've got to spend.
Yeah. You don't want to retire with a lot of money. You want to retire in the end of your life with $0. That means you did it right.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you don't want to die with millions. Spend that shit.
Yeah.
True
Or
that.
leave it to your kids. Whatever. Hey,
Whatever. They'll get a job or something, won't they?
they
They'll be
get a
fine.
fucking job. All right. We'll catch you guys next week.